First up, Commitment 2024. We are about 8 hours away until the polls open for the South Carolina Republican presidential primary.
There are several candidates listed on the ballot. Former President Donald Trump, former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, Pastor Ryan Binkley, and businessman David Stuckenberg all have active campaigns.
The winner of tomorrow's primary will get 50 delegates. A candidate needs 1,215 to secure the GOP nomination.
We have team coverage tonight from across the state. Our Ray Urena brings us the latest on former President Trump's visit to Rock Hill.
But first, we go to our Rashad Williams in Mount Pleasant with what Nikki Haley had to say on her last day of campaigning in her home state.
Well, Nikki Haley made her final stop at Patriots Point in Mount Pleasant Friday evening, and she was firm in saying that while Donald Trump was president, he led the country further into debt.
And for the first time, we're paying more money in interest than we are in our defense budget. You know who's paying attention to that? Russia, China, and Iran. Something's got to give. And I would love to tell you that Joe Biden did that to us. And he's sending us down this socialism creep that we have to stop. But the truth is, our Republicans did that to us too. Out of the $34 trillion in debt, Donald Trump put us $8 trillion in debt in just 4 years.
Haley has consistently made it clear that she feels the former and current president are both too old to lead the country.
Don't you think it's finally time we had term limits in Washington, D.C.? Don't you think we need to have mental competency tests for anyone over the age of 75? This is nothing to play with. We need to make sure that we have people who are focused. They're making decisions on our national security. They're making decisions on the future of our economy. We need people that are at the top of their game.
Nikki Haley also addressed a hot button issue, border control.
Let's put 25,000 Border Patrol and ICE agents on the ground and let them do their job. We'll go back to the Remain in Mexico policy so that no one even steps foot on U.S. soil. And instead of catch and release, we'll go to catch and deport. That is how we will stop what's happening in the border.
Well, there you have it. The stage is set for primary day. The polls will open at 7 a.m. and close at 7 p.m. And of course, WYFF News 4 will bring you live updates on air and online as the results come in. Reporting in Mount Pleasant, Rashad Williams, WYFF News 4.
Rashad, thank you. And former President Donald Trump is in South Carolina on the final day of campaigning.
Our Ray Urena brings us the latest from Rock Hill with what the former president had to say.
Former President Donald Trump wrapping up a Get Out the Vote rally in Rock Hill, touching upon some current issues and what he would do if he was elected president this year.
Hello, South Carolina. I'm thrilled to be back.
Security was tight and enthusiasm was high for Donald Trump.
I believe in what he stands for. I love the children. I don't like who's in the office right now. I don't see any change, and I want to see some action in this world.
The former president making one last push in the Palmetto State before the Republican primary.
I strongly support the availability of IVF for couples who are trying to have a precious little beautiful baby. I support it. And today I'm calling on the Alabama legislature to act quickly to find an immediate solution.
But not all who were in Rock Hill were there to hear what the former president had to say. These veterans peacefully protesting as the line to get in moved forward.
Trump himself has already said that he's promised that he won't be a dictator on day one. That kind of language is inflammatory. We already know that there's concerns with our partners in NATO when it comes to trying to maintain world peace. And we're worried about him trying to continue to subvert American democracy, throwing out elections that he doesn't like.
Trump touched on the border and stock market while continuing to falsely claim the 2020 election was rigged and call his legal challenges a scam. But his confidence remains high heading into the primary.
We're going to win this state, and then we're going to tell crooked Joe Biden, you're fired. Get out of here. You're fired.
Rock Hill was not the only stop for the former president on Friday. He also delivered remarks at a gala in Columbia. In Rock Hill, Ray Urena, WYFF News 4.
And some final reminders before you head to the polls tomorrow. Voters can cast their ballots starting at 7 tomorrow morning. Polls will close at 7 p.m. You do need to bring a photo ID. You can only vote in tomorrow's primary if you did not vote in the South Carolina Democratic primary. The ballot will also have several questions, but you are not required to answer.
Remember, WYFF News 4 is your home for Commitment 2024 coverage. You can find a voter's guide right now on WYFF4.com and the WYFF4 mobile app. Tomorrow, we will bring you live coverage on air and online as the results come in.